भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। Okay, so before I begin, I just wanted to say a few things, and that one is this is a very subtle subject. So it is not like 2 + 2 is 4. It doesn't work that way. It's a subtle level of mind. So we all have to be very patient and try to understand everything. And whatever we are doing over here, we are trying to bring directly from Bhagavad Gita. So it's not like it's not my opinion. It's not anybody's personal opinion. So we all have to be patient. And if there is a doubt, it's better to go back to some of the verses and in the right context. So I welcome everybody to bring the verses, but I think it's better if we don't say that, hey, I think like that, because that's not why we are here for. I'm just talking in general because so that we can benefit the most. Because sometimes what happens, we have preconceived ideas and we are just looking for validation. And that is not going to improve us at all. Because there are a lot of ideas that we have, it literally shatters it. And to really change, and it has to be done in a correct way, and that's why I think that Yogananji or Chinmayananji or any of these great masters, because this Vidya is like Brahma Vidya is kind of so many thousands of years and it's been validated by so many people, but the way they explain is different, and some saint might resonate with you more, which is fine. But, just keep that in mind, that let's go back to the verses rather than just a opinion, number one. And number two, I was going to say is, for our personal journey, we have to decide what is right for us. Me or anybody else, it's not going to be valid. So we all learn from here, and then we apply and see where do I stand and and I have said this before, but I think it's very important because we tend to start what you call some debate, hey, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. That's not why we are here for. It's because nobody knows each person's circumstances, what they are. So from this class, what we are trying to do is just resolve the conflicts in our mind and things like that and learn from the source. So that's what I wanted to say. And
I'll tell two things. When Krishna told Arjun, after he gave his all lecture to him, कि तुम्हारी knowledge is like dodhari talwar, जो not only can harm you but harm others because you have half knowledge.
Yeah.
So we should all understand that and then listen to this.
And the other thing is that the language is also very subtle, because it was done 5,000 years ago, it's in Sanskrit, and then certain terms has multiple meanings.
Yeah, interpretation.
Yeah, so we have to surrender to the wise people.
Right.
And amazingly enough, Krishna Bhagwan has used those words also. Right. Panditas say that, wise people say that. He's also not saying mera opinion.
Yeah, right, exactly.
He's validating it by, hey, other people have also said this, because otherwise it's like, hey, Krishna Bhagwan's opinion, maybe it's not right, because Arjun was a contemporary of him. So those are the points I wanted to bring over here. And the other thing I was going to say that sometimes, we get a little impatient about when we are doing the verse. So why don't we finish the one verse and then we will do the question rather than, because otherwise that process is not finished. That's number. We can always, and if there is something very compelling, a small question, yes, that might be okay, but otherwise we will wait. So that, because as the class is getting larger, we just need to do those things. Is everybody okay with these things?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so the reason I chose this fifth chapter, because this precedes the one that we already did in detail, right? So, you know, I really want to thank you for your question, because it made me go and read so many times, you know, and understand the fine tuning of it. And Atmaji brought such a fantastic point that even to us in Chinmaya Mission, they always say that Bhagavad Gita is your lifelong partner. Means, you know, you have to read it again, and you can never say that mera khatam ho gaya bas. Impossible, because it can actually take you there, but वो दिमाग में घुसना ना बहुत time लगता है. Obviously, कोई rare few who are born with this knowledge or very quickly, but most of us, we have to read it multiple times. Same verse, if you read it, and I can guarantee you, more you read, the more depth. Whoever has done it knows it. That it just so much in there, and so just stick with it and just don't give up. You know, just continue. So here is the fifth chapter
Where are we reading? If you
from the
can
very
just-
beginning,
Okay.
because those are the first few questions there. So what I wanted to do was 1 or 2 verses. We're not gonna read everything, because I decided that we will do 5 of the verses, because that will clarify the doubt of Kamalaji and us also,
Okay.
hopefully.
So did you say this time you're going to do the fifth chapter? आपने लिखा नहीं शायद.
नहीं लिखा मैंने?
She wrote.
You wrote it? I didn't read it.
Yeah.
I thought I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Fifth, that's
yeah.
about the book.
Yeah.
Chapter.
Yeah. Here, you can share it with me. Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Atha Panchamodhyayah.
Atha
Panchamodhyayah.
Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna Vacha.
Sannyasam Karmanam Krishna.
Sannyasam Karmanam Krishna.
Punaryogam Cha Shamsasi.
Punaryogo Chashanshasi.
Yacheya Etayorekam.
Yacheyorekam.
Tanme Bruhi Sunishtitam.
Tanme Bruhi Sunishchitam.
So the word translation is renunciation of actions, O Krishna, you praise, and again yoga, performance of action. Tell me conclusively that which is the better of the two. So here renunciation of action meaning in nutshell that focusing more on meditation. Means जो मेरे unessential काम है वो सब छोड़ छाड़ के I focus more on you praise, and then again performance of action. So because karma yoga उन्होंने कितना praise किया, but he also praised the other one, and he also said कि finally to get connected with God, meditation is the doorway. You have to go through it. So he's getting confused, and the same question he had asked in chapter 3 also. In the beginning of chapter 3, he said that if you think that knowledge is, because there he used the word knowledge, that you have to get knowledge to, you know. So he's saying that if you want knowledge is superior, then why are you asking me to do this ghor karma, he called it, like ghor karma, horrible action of killing. So Krishna Bhagavan had given all the answers, and Krishna Bhagavan said, okay, this fellow got it, but no, see, he brought that again. You know,
Like
because yeah, like you, because it just looks so glamorous. Why do I have to do this? Because I'm ready for this. You know, I just can do this and I can reach. So मैं बेकार का फालतू का काम क्यों करूँ? All of us have that. So I won't read everything from here, but few things only, because otherwise it'll take time, because I wanted to do 5 verses. So here, one sentence over here, it says, he's saying that Krishna insists that renunciation of action is nobler and diviner than all yagna actions. Yagna means karma yoga. Hence the inquiry. Because he actually praised, the not exactly renunciation of action, but sannyas or meditation and all that he praised in the last one. So again, this fellow got confused. And then because of that last chapter here, it says the Pandava prince, means Arjun, concludes that Krishna is giving him a free choice between the two independent ways of living. That's what we also start thinking. मैं कर्म yoga करूँ या ज्ञान yoga? So he thought he's giving him free choice. Selfless action and renunciation of action. That's how he explains it. He therefore requests Krishna to indicate to him decisively one definite path of self-perfection by which he can positively achieve the spiritual fulfillment. This chapter is spent in indicating
Said that if this battle had not taken place and, Arjuna had gone to the court, then what would have happened? They're saying this thing problem would never have been solved and, we're still fighting till today. So Krishna, in 18 days, he was decisive, and in 18 days he was able to finish the war, and, there was a decision made. So that also,
you're
sometimes
saying
have
that
to act,
yeah, the war, and it's like somebody was saying, I think
It's
it was in Stanley
not
Shorty's
good, but you have
lecture,
to act
कि
for the
भाई
common
why-
good.
Yeah, that because we say ahimsa paramo dharma, that is one of the statements of Hinduism. So but यहाँ तो सबसे बड़ी हिंसा हो रही है जी.
Yeah.
How can you justify that? So it's like the best answer is that if I have a body and if I have a cancer somewhere, a growth, and if they had to be taken out and cut it, or if कुछ infection हो जाए, to save the whole body, I got to pull it out, because otherwise everybody will die. I mean, sorry, I will die. Yeah, my whole body will die. That's what I mean. So with the same way, with the society had become so corrupt that those people, even the good people, had become nishkriya. I mean, they could not do anything. Bhishma Pitama and all those people. They were great people, but they had become nishkriya. So it had to be dissolved so that you can start fresh. And sometimes it happens, even companies, when they get really weak and all that and crumble, then you got to dissolve it and start over again. So that's what it is. And somebody said even a very good point about ahimsa, that in this particular case of this scenario of, Mahabharat, अगर उन्होंने war नहीं किया होता, तो ज़्यादा बड़ी हिंसा होती. So actually not fighting a war would have been hinsa for this fellow, because he has taken a vow, he's a soldier, that I will fight the righteous war and all that. So for him, doing it, so it is a motive behind what you do for ahimsa and hinsa. It's not the actual action. So that's what.
It's a dharmic war.
It's a dharma. Yeah, it was for the good and the bad. It was a battle for the good, to eliminate the bad.
And interestingly enough, the some of the people who fought for the bad people also got moksha. Okay? So that's why I'm saying that good and bad is not a solid thing. It's not a solid thing. It is to where I am in my life.
They were doing their duty.
Yeah.
They had to perform their
So,
duties. God put them there. We are all put there for a purpose.
Yeah, so that's why we always again and again say this extremely individual journey, and you got to really it's like, that's why they say turning inward, because after learning everything, you got to turn inward, say, what do I need to do?
No, in every job situation, like there was a thing, some people are trapped in a tunnel now, whether you save those 10 people or you save the whole city. So that's a decision you have to make, So what is ethically correct? You save those 10 people or you save the whole city. In every situation we are going to, and so you see what is the good for the better good, and that's how you take a decision.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, shall we move to the next verse? We're going to do 5 verses. Neyam sanitya sannyasi.
Neyam sanitya sannyasi.
Yo na dveshti na kankshati.
Yo na dveshti na kankshati.
Nirdvando hi mahabhaho.
Nirdvando hi mahabhaho.
Sukham bandhatmu pramuchyate.
Sukham bandhat pramuchyate.
In this one, I will maybe just, we will not read the whole thing because there are other 2 that I wanted to read a little more. I'll just say what he's saying. So here, Krishna Bhagavan is saying he should be, firstly let me give you a background. Because one of the discourses that I was listening, the Swamiji said, सब लोग को सन्यासी का लाइफ बहुत ग्लैमरस लगता है, the people who are on this path कि भाई कुछ करना नहीं पड़े,
Yeah.
you know, भगवे वस्त्र पहन के बैठ जाओ और सभी आ रहे हैं, प्रणाम कर रहे हैं, आशीर्वाद दे दो, बस हो गया काम. He was just joking, obviously. हाँ, ऐसा लगता है लोगों को, right? So अर्जुन को ने भी वही बोला ना शुरू में question कि भाई why are you asking me to do the fight the war? Why don't I go and meditate? Because if you're saying that I can get it enlightenment like that. So here Krishna Bhagwan now says, look, I'll give you a new definition of sannyasi. A person who is a householder, if he does certain things that has a certain mindset, consider him a sannyasi. Very powerful statement.
Yeah.
And he's saying he can, by doing his work where he is, he can reach the highest. You don't need to do any of the other. Neither take, he said white clothes sannyasi. or you know, like whatever, blue collar sannyasi.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. So here he says he should be known as a perpetual sannyasi. वो सदा सन्यासी रहता है. Who neither hates nor desires. For free from the pairs of opposite, O mighty arm, he is easily set free from bondage. So there are a couple of things. Hates, he's saying that, you know, like this hating business, Krishna Bhagavan is very strong on it. And our teacher used to say, even if you hate one person in the entire 8 billion people, it's enough for you to stop your path. So no matter what somebody has done, no matter who they are, no matter how bad action they may have done towards you, you hate, you have to go drop. So that, and the desire is obviously that, you know, I'm not going to go too much in detail, but it is like that cravings that we have, you know, and that, so, huh? Yeah, extreme cravings or, you know, so fix on one result and those kind of things. So this sannyasi doesn't have that.
But I believe, you know, what I got, I think, is the dwandas, the pair
It's
of
coming,
opposites.
the next one is free from pair of opposites. There were 3 things were there, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Look
okay,
at
that's, isn't it that what he's saying?
Yeah, pair
That
of opposite is like, what is pair of opposite, first
I mean,
of all?
you know, you talked about hate and love, you know, those are the opposites.
Yeah. But he emphasized, this is the reason I'm saying, because he emphasized hate, desire, and then free from pair of
Okay,
opposites. So
okay,
that's
okay,
why.
okay, okay.
So those two are like,
Yes.
because this theme of hate and this desire is throughout Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
In every
Okay, I see.
few chapters, he picked this up. And at one point, you know, he even said that it's a gate of hell. You know,
Yeah.
desire, anger, and
How it starts and where it proceeds.
Yeah, and why
That's
this
it.
war started was because this fellow had so much desire or love for his son. So even though he was doing the wrong thing, Duryodhan,
you can say,
yeah,
yes.
he didn't really stop his son.
It's like
Yeah.
over-attachment.
Yeah. So same thing as a householder. We have 5 children, 3 children, whatever it is. We have to treat everybody equal. Rise above a situation. Whoever is wrong, tell them they are wrong. Set them to the right path, and that's if you are able to do your own duty that way properly.
Yeah, you can
Your
apply
household.
this to like at
Yeah.
your home, like you're saying, your community, everything.
Hate
But
beside the
basically,
jivas,
we have to
Jaya.
dissolve. And how can we dissolve that hate is, you know, by understanding who God is and what everything is. If it's ocean and waves, it's like, who am I hating? They say you can, you know, dislike the action they are doing, but don't dislike that person.
Yes.
Huh?
You know, as we are one, so if we hate, we are
Yeah.
hating ourselves.
Exactly. There you go. I think that is the main thing. If somebody can understand that, they got it. You are hurting yourself.
No, even your spousal relationships, you know, you have to respect each other.
Yeah.
That's so
This applies
important.
to everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and then pair of opposites is basically, you know, like Swamiji said it so well. Either we kind of love something and we want it, or like go away. Like, you know, उसी में सारी जिंदगी निकल जाती है. And he said that when you have this pair of opposite, you actually are discounting half of this universe away from you.
Yeah.
You know, we never think of it that way. So and it's like you know, हर एक चीज में उसको psychoanalyze करना शुरू कर देंगे, then it is a big huge problem because the world is constantly changing. So it's like you like something and that slips from your hand, and you hate something, it went away, or you pushed it away, it'll come back and slap you again. So then those are the kind of things he's talking about, that samatvam, like
Yes,
that he's
exactly,
talked about
so that's what-
samatvam. Yeah. So basically, this is a very powerful statement that a person, true sannyasi is
Samatva.
samatva man who got all this. So don't think that by you know renouncing everything you will become a sannyasi. And then somebody was saying कि जो लोग गुफा में बैठ जाते हैं ना, जाके कई लोग उनका ईगो सबसे ज़्यादा बड़ा हो जाता है बिकॉज देयर इज नोबडी एल्स टू से. तो अगर कच्चे लोग बैठ गए ना, इट्स अ ह्यूज प्रॉब्लम because these people who actually go
थोड़ा
there
सा
they
भी
know.
पावर आ जाता है उनके पास, they think they are God in themselves.
नहीं, because उनको कोई रिएक्ट करने के लिए नहीं है, तो उनको पता ही नहीं कि हाउ टू बी विद पीपल एंड नॉट हेट एंड डू दिस. फिर देन इज सेइंग व्हेन दे कम आउट ऑफ देयर समटाइम्स एंड तो वो एक पेड़ के नीचे बैठा है, फिर उसी पे बैठने लगा, दूसरा आके बैठ गया तो बोलता है ये तो मेरी जगह है.
Oh my.
Means so it's like something very internal. And a place where you are doesn't matter, but it is your own mind how it's getting purified. So that's a very powerful statement he made. So he's not saying don't go and sit under the tree. That's what. But he's telling you the truth that what a true sannyasi is. You know. Okay, so now we'll go to the last one that I wanted to read.
ऋषि दुर्वासा की वो है ना, हमारे उसमें आती है कि जो शकुंतला का दुष्यंत से जब
विवाह हुआ था, गांधर्व विवाह.
yeah, they just knew first, and she ignored Durvasa Rishi. She didn't pay because she was thinking about Dushyant.
Yes.
And then he gave her श्राप कि जिसकी उसमें तू मुझे इग्नोर कर दिया तो वो तेरे को भूल जाएगा.
Right.
So that was nothing but ego on a part of Rishi.
Well, I think that if you see these kind of rishi का जो जब आता है ना, so you have to see it from a very different perspective.
Okay.
So because I'm watching this देवों के देव महादेव, और उसमें ना वो दुर्वासा ऋषि का रोल ये है कि जब सृष्टि में कोई प्रॉब्लम होता है ना, उसको सॉल्व करने के लिए उसको बुलाते हैं, but दे इसको श्राप ताकि वो एंड रिजल्ट उसका बेटर हो. सो व्हेन यू सी फ्रॉम अ global perspective, he was born as a Durvasa Rishi to have this anger to fix certain things. It's very difficult, but when you see it globally, you will see. So
When you see
Durvasa
the bigger picture, yeah.
हर एक श्राप में अच्छाई इनफैक्ट एक दो एपिसोड में ऐसा आया उसमें कि दुर्वासा फेल्ट सो गिल्टी. Why? Because उन्होंने इनको भी श्राप दे दिया, अपने शंकर जी को भी एक दो बार. So he went and started crying कि भाई why did you make me like that? So he's saying don't worry, this was meant to be because your job is to give that shrap so that something good will happen. So then his mind became little. और कभी कभी उसको वो सीख करके लेके आते थे, like you know कि कुछ करो इधर ताकि कुछ अच्छा हो. Because we always look at it as Shrap is, oh, that guy got angry and all that. But this Rishi Muni ka jo anger hota hai na, is very different than ours.
So there
Our
is
anger is
saying
like,
in English, whatever happens for good.
Yeah.
No, plus वो श्राप they
So-
give,
so-
they lose the energy, so they
So
have to do
that's not
meditation again.
ahankar though on
No,
the part of Rishi.
नहीं.
We-
Because it's a part of a bigger scheme.
और
part of
ये
a bigger
श्राप
scheme.
का भी एक और है सीता का, like they said why did Sita had to go, she had to leave the palace and go and live in the jungle to give birth to her children. That's because she had done something wrong in a younger age.
Incarnation.
You all know the story about the parrots. She was going to the jungle and the parrot was reciting the story of Ram and Sita and all that. So when she heard her name, her ears pricked, and so she brought those two parrots home and she kept them in her palace. And then they were very happy for 2-3 months, but then this lady parrot, she became pregnant. So the husband says, no, please release us now. We are very happy here, but we want to go to the jungle and be in our own world. The Sita says, no, you go if you want. She tells the husband.
Oh,
But I'm going to keep this parrot with me, the lady one. So like she tried to separate them. So then this parrot, and then I think he died also because he couldn't live without his wife. And so the parrot cursed her that in your, you have separated me, and you will, same thing will happen to you when you also get pregnant. And this parrot who died, he became the Dhobi. One who tells Ram.
Oh, okay, I get it.
That you,
He has dhobi.
yeah, the one who
धोबी
tells
ने बोला
Ram
ना।
ना कि तुम अपनी wife को भी निकालो.
Dhobi is the one who commented that, that his wife was one day stayed out
She
somewhere.
wasn't Ravan, she was
And
with
he said that
Ravan.
I'm not like Ram, that I will accept you
No.
even if you have stayed some other man's house. That's what the whole connotation is. So I
that's
think
where
what
your
it's
karma
proving,
is playing, yeah.
karma plays. So I think that coming back to it, that the shraps of the rishis, we cannot take it just at a face value.
So that's not the ego thing.
No. He's talking more like ego when, different kind of ego. our inflated egos. Okay.
They get angry. Rishis
sorry?
get angry.
Yeah, they do because they use it like a tool.
Even Shivji got angry. Remember, Kamdev को भस्म कर दिया उन्होंने. तो it's all.
शिव जी तो बहुत जल्दी एंग्री भी हो जाते हैं, जल्दी प्लीज भी हो जाते
He's
हैं.
a Bholenath.
हाँ.
He doesn't distinguish among anyone. उन्होंने अपने ही बेटे का भी सर काट दिया था. Okay. यस्यांखे प्राप्यते स्थानम. यस्यांखे प्राप्यते स्थानम. I'm on the fifth one. तद्योगेरपि गम्यते. तद्योगेरपि गम्यते. एकम सांख्यम च योगम च.
एकम सांख्यम च योगम च.
य पश्यति स पश्यति.
Yapashyati sapashyati.
Wait, I think that I missed something.
Yeah, fourth one we didn't.
I was like,
That's
where
why I
am
was thinking
I?
why you were
Sankhya.
Sorry, that was a very important one.
Okay.
That's one of the most important ones actually. For especially for her question, is very important. Sankhya yogo prithak balaha.
Sankhya yogo prithak balaha.
Pravadanti na panditaha.
Pravadanti na panditaha.
Ekam pyasthita samyag.
Ekam syasya samyagam.
Ubhayor vindate phalam.
Ubhayor vindate phalam.
Okay, who wants to read this? Sushil ji can read it.
Two methods.
I'm on 4.
Oh, for children, not the wise, huh?
Yes, children. Children, not the wise, speak of Sankhya and Yoga as distinct. Okay. He who is truly established, even in one, obtains the fruits of both.
So here is very strong statement he's making. He's saying that children, not the wise people, speak of Sankhya knowledge and the yoga as distinct, means as though they are two separate paths. But wise people think that it is one path. So childish people think that
What
it
is
is.
Sankhya Yoga?
Sankhya is the same as here, just think of the meditative path. The knowledge, meditative, they are bunched in one side. Sankhya means actually logic. Logically, you come to a conclusion. Means the word Sankhya means logic. And ये means कि जब knowledge की बात आती है ना कि ब्रह्म विद्या की तो वो पूरा logic से लेके जाते हैं आपको जैसे कि मांडुक्य में किया गया है कि भाई ये 3 states है, the 4th state is the Turiya and all that, appealing to your intellect, you reach their knowledge. But here just think of it as a Gnana Yoga and Karma Yoga की बात हो रही है यहाँ पे. So he's saying that they are not two different paths. And then I just realized something that in the previous, I wanted to just read one sentence. जो सन्यासी की जो बात की ना मैंने, उसमें मैं लाना चाहती हूँ एक कि
So now, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, is there Dhyana Yoga too?
ज्ञान योगा and ध्यान yoga, you can bunch them together. Dhyan is meditation.
No, Dhyan is what we are doing now.
Huh?
चार है ना. Karma,
Knowledge and meditation.
Dhyan, then knowledge
Bhakti
and bhakti and knowledge. And Sankhya Yoga is this technical stuff, which is he has avoided it.
So there is Dhyana
In fact-
separate than Jnana Yoga.
No, but in this verse, now again, don't put them in boxes
Right,
for
yeah.
God's sake, because when you read the whole commentary, you will understand.
Yeah.
Here, he specifically says that when he says Sankhya, just think of it as knowledge or
Knowledge.
Yeah.
yes, and put them together as meditative part. Okay, the meditative part, because this is how it happens. If your mind is too disturbed, you firstly ये जो people who are too much in संसार उनको ये प्रश्न भी नहीं उठता कि मैं कौन हूँ कहाँ से आया हूँ क्या कर रहा हूँ, right? So even to get that jignasa, he said, to get that inquiry, who am I? You need a little quieter mind, okay? And then for the knowledge to dawn upon you, you need a even more purer mind. So that's why unless you go through this exercise,
Yeah,
you're not
you-
ready.
You have to
Because
internalize.
like Atmaji was saying, even if you read
Yeah.
Gita, it's not going to sink
Yeah,
into you.
that doesn't mean
You know, you will pick up something wrong from there. And one of the beautiful example given in the Vedant is that अगर हमको दूध boil करना है तो vessel साफ होना चाहिए. अगर दूध में vessel में गंदगी है और तुम दूध डाल के बोलो फट जाएगा, गंदा हो जाएगा, पीने लायक नहीं रहेगा. So अगर
अपना vessel, yeah.
हाँ, तो vessel जब तक clean नहीं होएगा knowledge नहीं आ सकती. और इसीलिए I wanted to read this because he actually says is this is not an easy task anyway. The Pandava prince was then having in his intellect thick vasana coatings of heroic instinct and kingly impulses for action. This stanza is given in order to persuade him to keep away from a hasty dash into sannyas. You see that? That why he said all these things, because if you go hastily in sannyas, it's not going to be good. That's why I wanted to read that one sentence, because I had highlighted it, what it was. Okay. So now he's saying, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So Sankhya or yoga of action means meditation, and yoga of action means दो different path नहीं है, and all that we already read that. Now you can continue.
Two methods are indicated for turning an ordinary act into divine action of dedication and worship. It can either be done by the renunciation of the concept of agency in every action, or by a consistent refusal to get dissipated by our unintelligent preoccupation with our anxieties for the fruits of action. The former is called the Sankhya method, and the latter is called the simple Karma Yoga.
So here he explained it. So let's try to understand what he's saying. So there are two methods. One is renunciation of the concept of agency in every action. Means it's like मैं नहीं करना, doership छोड़ दो. That's a lot harder thing to do. You have to have an extreme purity of mind and all that to think I'm not doing, to give the. And the second method, which is a slightly easier method, is unintelligent preoccupation with the anxiety of fruits of action. Means कि मेरे को ऐसा फल मिल जाए मैं. हम लोग सब फल के लिए सोचते काम करते हैं ना. तो एक fixed फल की आकांक्षा